that as higher. Let me see if the targets. I also like an anytime touchdown for Xavier Worthy, which is 1.32. So that's really good odds on underdog. So if you on FanDuel or DraftKings, I think you would take the over. Also the 5.5 receptions, I'm taking the over on that too. So I love most of the lines for Xavier Worthy today. So that's my X factor for the game. I don't know what y'all want to do with that with DFS, but I'm definitely having him in all my lineups in DFS today. Okay. So let's move on to the score prediction. I want to talk about the score. What's up, Black Banks? What's up, bruh? What's going on with you? So let me talk about the score prediction today. My score prediction is going to be the Chiefs 24 and the Eagles 17. Now listen, that's not a high scoring Super Bowl game, but I believe these defenses are the best defenses in the NFL. If you ask me what's the best defense, I would say Chiefs, Eagles. That's before any Super Bowl predictions or anything. Because my Super Bowl prediction was the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. It did happen. But if you'd ask me, like I said, the best defenses, I'm giving you these two teams. Now, points are going to happen. It's the Super Bowl, right? So things are going to happen. These are good offenses. These are not backyard offenses. Now, we've seen two good offenses have a bad output for scoring in the Super Bowl, like what, 4 or 5 years ago when New England Patriots. It was more than 5 years ago, but when the New England Patriots went against Jared Goff, and the game was like 10-3. Now I don't think it's going to be that type of game, but I don't think it's going to be up and down scoring. So I'm taking 24-17. I won't be surprised if it's 21-24. I don't think this game is going to go into the 30s. These secondaries are great. Love Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean, guys, I think he should be maybe up for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. I could be missing a defensive lineman that had a great season, but Cooper DeJean has been locking people down in the slot. Ever since he came into his role, this has been a top premium defense. Before that, this defense was getting sliced up. Darius Slay was being exposed. Gardner wasn't playing at the level that he ended up being playing this year because he is an all-pro guy this year. So once they put Cooper DeJean in and let him start the whole game, this defense changed. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, guys. I think the Chiefs are going to win at 24-17. That's the way I think the game is going to play. I think they're going to try to use Xavier Worthy to get behind this defense a couple of times for a couple of big plays. And then Pat Mahomes going to do his thing. He's going to have a lot of rushing yards. I like the rushing prop bet for Pat Mahomes. I like the rushing prop bet for Mahomes. When it comes to close games, y'all might not notice, Pat Mahomes turns into a dual threat quarterback. He's looking for you to rush upfield because he's trying to come out the back door. Right? So I love the rushing ability from Pat Mahomes. I think that's going to be the deciding factor of this game, and also the big play to Xavier Worthy. And we know that D-Hop or Juju, somebody like that's going to have a big play too. We know what Travis Kelce is. I don't got to talk about Travis Kelce. I do think they double team him, but I'm still taking his targets. I'm still thinking he's going to get 10 targets. You got to. It's the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't you give Travis Kelce 10 targets, even if he's getting double teamed? So I would take the targets. I don't know about the catches, but the targets I would try to go to. All right, let me go before I go through some other content. Let me welcome everybody that's in the chat. Got Black Banks, first one in the building. I got D Lion. What's up, bro? He says D Hop over 11.5 yards. That's easy. You right, bro. Woo! That's a great bet. That's a great bet. What's up, Jamie? What's going on with you, bro? He said, did you know today is Barkley and Cooper DeJean? I knew it was Barkley, but I didn't know it was Cooper's birthday. Wow. Jamie says Eagles' overall record is 666 wins and 665 losses. One more less gives them that magical number the hierarchy triangle people love so much. That's cutting edge content right there, guys. That's food for thought. Trey Porter, what's up, bro? He says top of the morning. Yes, sir. Glad to see you here, Trey Porter. Guys, I apologize. I know I'm hoarse. I was hoping that I was trying to get a couple people up today, but it's off season, so it's tough to get everybody together on the same page. So that's what's going to be coming up for the shows, and that's what I've been doing on the background, along with some other things. I got a little backdrop of stuff coming, a few different things, and also I'm gonna be doing a podcast that I want y'all to go check out. I'm gonna give you more information on that later. Me and another guy is gonna be doing a podcast. It's gonna be like in the barbershop, like I was telling y'all. We're gonna be talking about sports. It's gonna be kind of like Gil's Arenas. That is coming down the pipe. Let's see. Jamie says the AFC and the NFC are both tied for Super Bowl wins, 29 and 29. The Taylor Swift gets the 30th AFC Super Bowl win for the three-peat. Remember the triangle, people. I also love that number 3. He's giving y'all the gas. RG says nuke anytime TD, guys, and RG will be coming up, guys, too, with me, doing some content, and I appreciate that, bruh. But yeah, nuke anytime TD. I think that's a good TD to take, a good prop to take. I'm mostly on Xavier Worthy. That's the guy, and Pat Mahomes rushing yards. But we know there's other things that's going to happen in this game. But the ones that I would bet my money on would be Xavier Worthy. I know they want to give him the ball in all different areas of the field, and I know Pat Mahomes is going to take off running a lot of times. D-Lane says, I'm taking D-Hop touchdown plus 550 and over 11.5 yards easy. That 11.5 yards is easy. I'm taking that all day. That is a good one. I mean, you would think it would be like 30 or something. Rio James says, Mahomes is far from a running quarterback, but he is a quarterback who will run when needed. Right. But he comes a dual threat, and he is a running quarterback in this game. And running quarterback doesn't mean that you can't throw. A lot of people, when they hear running quarterback, they say, well, he ain't that. Well, that's a bonus. That's like saying, hey, this dude is tough. No, he's not tough. No, yeah, he is a running quarterback. But that doesn't mean that Pat Mahomes can't slice you up. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. That doesn't mean that he can't slice you up with his arm. We know he's deadly with his arm. But that's what makes Pat Mahomes is excuse me. What makes Pat Mahomes is he can beat you with his running, with his legs. Like he can have. I won't be surprised if he had 100 yards in the game. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be doing design runs, but he did have a couple design runs for them to win some games. So, all right. Let me see. But I get what you're saying, Rio. I get what you're saying. But that's why you the GOAT. You got to be able to do it all at any time, and that's what still that Josh Allen and Lamar got to learn when I need to do what I need to do, right? It might be a game where you need to throw the ball. You don't need to run the ball. It might be a game where you need to run the ball a lot. It just depends. And I think Pat Mahomes can do it. Shit, Pat Mahomes might come out here with 10 design runs, right? This is Andy Reid, right? That's what makes Andy Reid great. Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid is like a perfect coach and player relationship. Like with Andy Reid's mind thinking outside the box and Pat Mahomes' improv, it's electric. Boogie, 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 boogie. Okay, so let's talk about the MVP season before I get on to the rest of the comments, guys. Keep them coming. I will get to them. Let's talk about the MVP season. So, guys, I'm not disappointed with Josh Allen winning the MVP. Josh Allen had a phenomenal season, and I remember early in the season, me and Harambe was talking about Josh Allen. I was like, I don't want to draft Josh Allen in fantasy, where he kind of proved me wrong. I said he was going to have an MVP season for his real life, kind of like Lamar did last year, and he kind of did. He had better numbers, but it wasn't his best stat season that he's ever had. But I knew he was going to play really good ball. I knew they was going to run the ball more with James Cook. And Josh Allen, he went to the playoffs and had an amazing season. So I thought that it was a good MVP season. but Lamar had a better season. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to win MVP. Guys, human votes, it's not benchmarks. It's not, okay, once you get 4,000 and you get 40 touchdowns, you automatically win MVP. We want to think that because of looking at the past, but it doesn't work that way. These are humans voting. People are not going to continue to vote for people just because of the numbers that you put up. You remember Michael Jordan got beat out with the MVP where he averaged like 33 points, top 3 in steals. I mean, in run the championship, he had a crazy season, but they gave it to Charles Barkley because Charles Barkley had his first amazing season where he went to the finals. Josh Allen he played, didn't turn the ball over this year, played good, late down the stretch, beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, that was big for Josh Allen. So that's why we voted. You know what, Josh? This is your time. Now, if you just look at the numbers, it's Lamar all day. That's just my 2 cents about the MVP. I'm not mad about it. I think Lamar, if you want, people to change the narrative, you got to go out and do whatever you got to do. I don't want to get into what the NFL is doing behind the scenes. It's just too complicated. I make content just to talk about who's the strongest and who's the fastest. I don't make content of who is giving who penalties and trying to cheat for who. It's just too complicated. We know that stuff probably happens, but we just want to take the game at a kid level, right? And just break it down. Who's the fastest team? Who's the best coach team? Who's jumping off sides? That's how you won and lost the game. So Lamar got to work on that. But congratulations to Josh Allen. I'm not going to sit here and hate, and I'm not going to make it no race thing. It is what it is. Lamar got it last year. I was okay with him winning it last year. I thought he helped contribute to his team winning and stepping up in big games. Okay, so let me read a couple comments. Let's see. Harambe says, happy Sunday. What's up, Harambe? Jamie says, they ain't ready for the knowledge. Shh. D-Lion says, today is December 31st. Today is December 31st. Woo! That's deep. I think what you're talking about. That's crazy. Because that's different calendars or whatever. But Rio James says, I expect Saquon to see over 20 carries in this one. I do too. But I don't think Saquon's going to have, I think he maybe get right at 100 yards, but I don't think he's going to break an 80-yard run. Well, he could break one long run. I give him one long run over 40 or 50, but I think Kansas City surprisingly keeps him bubbled in. That doesn't mean that Eagles can't win the game because all it takes is one big play from Saquon. You can shut him down. He's like Barry Sanders when it comes to that, right? You can shut him down. Okay, all of a sudden, it's a one-play possession game. It's 6 minutes to go in the game, and Saquon get a pitch, and he makes somebody miss, and he gone for 70. That's how the game works. That's how football works. So Saquon can do that, but I don't think he's going to be 5-7 yards a carry and, I don't think he's going to have 200 yards this game. I think they're going to make Jalen Hurts beat them, pushing the ball downfield. They want to see, okay, let's see if A.J. Brown can go for 200. Let's see if Devontae Smith can go for 150. Let's see if Dallas Goedert can go for 80 and 2. We ain't going to let Jalen Hurts run no 3 rushing touchdowns for 120 yards passing. That's what they want to do. Give it to Saquon and let Jalen Hurts get it in there for an easy touchdown every single time. They were like, nah, we stopping the run. Go passing on our corners. Go pass on Trent McDuffie. Go pass on Cook. Go pass on some of these corners that we didn't have that we groomed late and draft them in the late round, and they turned out to be all pros. Throw it on these corners. And we coming with Chris Jones up the middle. Right? That's the game plan. So I think we're going to see a lot of passing stats from the Eagles. I would like to take Devontae Smith to catch his passes. I would like to take A.J. Brown. If I'm the defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, I'm forcing the Eagles to pass. You're not running the ball down my throat, pause, with Saquon Barkley. Okay. Let me see here. Jamie says, Hopkins has only been getting 2 targets a game, so I'm not betting his props. I get it. But I think this is a Super Bowl, so I get why people are going for the 11.2 and the touchdown. Because we know how Pat Mahomes, he's a wizard. Anybody can get that touchdown. So I think it's a good bet. Now, if you want to put your last $100 on it, no, I wouldn't bet my last 100. My last 100 would probably be going to Xavier Worthy for targets or total yards or Pat Mahomes rushing yards. That's what I would be betting on my last $100. But a good bet that can happen, that can win money, It's that plus 550 anytime touchdown for D-Hop and plus the 11.5, over 11.5 yards. Easy bets. So I see what people are talking about. Harambe says double tap the screen to like the video. Thank you, Harambe. Let's get the likes up, folks. To see Long says Eagle got this in the bag. You know what? Excuse me, guys. They could. I would not be surprised. I'm betting on Kansas City because I see them win a lot of close games. I like teams that win close games because I know that you're tough. You know, winning the game is like it's like life. It's like a relationship. It goes up and down, up and down. And the ones that make it is the ones when things are going bad, the boat is rocking, it look like we about to tumble over. Can you stay calm and do what you've been taught to do? So if you down by 7 points with 3 minutes to go, can you still do your technique? Can you still play inside out, read his foot? Is he lined up? Is he got the left foot up, the right foot? You got to do all the little things that they've been teaching you for the last 2 weeks and also throughout the season. And don't get scared. And Kansas City continue to do that they've been continuing to do that for the last 3 or 4 years. So that's why I'm betting on Kansas City. But I do like the Eagles' chances. I mean, Saquon, A.J. Brown, those are superstars. So is Jalen Hurts. Jamie says Kelsey needs 2 TDs to tie Jerry Rice. Okay, that makes sense. Jamie giving y'all that. The reason he giving you the cheese and telling you what's going to happen to get to the cheese. Because it is about narratives. So that's a narrative. We know with Travis Kelce, he's going down as one of the greatest of all time at his position. Shit, he might just go down one of the greatest players of all time. All the Super Bowls that he's winning. Kelce needs 2 TDs to tie Jerry Rice for the postseason TD record. If he plans to retire, I think they'll give it to him. Yes, I think that's a nice little cheese and showing what's going to happen. I like that narrative, bruh. Appreciate you being here today, Jamie. You were here with the cutting edge content, bruh. D-Lion says Joy said that Saquon should have been MVP and make a quarterback award. Agreed with peanut butter skin. That boy love peanut butter skin, don't you? No. Sometimes I do think running back should, but if Saquon wanted to get the MVP, he should have got the 2,000 yards rushing record. If you'd have beat the regular season rushing record, and on top of what you already did, I would have considered that because I do think you're very important. I think that would have put you over Jalen Hurts. Right now, the quarterback is still the most important part of the team. You can compartmentalize the way you do the awards, but I'm okay with the way it's been going with the MVP going to the quarterback. But I've seen a couple years where, like Adrian Peterson, and I thought he should have got it. Barry Sanders got it 1 year. Emmitt Smith, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm okay with the way the award is going. I don't think Saquon should have won unless he got the record. Captain Spock says the ref will give Mahomes free bull jobs. The Eagles need to beat more than just the Chiefs. Facts. Excuse me. Facts. Rio James says Dallas Goedert over 40.85 receiving yards. I respect that. I like that because I think they will be forced to pass the ball. A couple more before we start on. We're going to talk about the Lakers trade. Sam Mason says it is possible that the Eagles put up 59 points. The record is 52. I don't know about that, Sam, but I'm listening. I'm going to write that down, Sam. You come back to my channel and you say, hey, remember, I'm the one that said that the Eagles going to put up 59 points, and they put up this. Bro, I'm going to give you respect. That's cutting-edge content right there. I don't see that many points being put up against the Chiefs, but if it happens, you called it here first. Appreciate you being here, Sam. C.A. Jefferson said, what's good? Need some prize picks today. Okay. I don't do prize picks, but I do, let me lower my voice a little bit, guys, so I don't want to tap out before the live is over. Pause. So here's a couple guys. I like Xavier Worthy to take his targets and also his rushing and receiving yards together. I would like to play the over on those. And a good money bet would be anytime touchdowns from him. Let me see, who else do I like? I like Pat Mahomes rushing yards. Those are for prize picks to go over. For the Eagles, I like Devontae Smith to get targets. I like his targets, and I like AJ Brown anytime touchdown too. I think they're gonna be forced these guys to throw. The reason why this game could go over too is at the end the Chiefs are like, listen, all right, they down by 2 possessions. Let's make Jalen Hurts throw to beat us. And Jalen Hurts started getting, maybe he throw for 150 yards, close to 200 yards in the fourth quarter because it's kind of garbage time, kinda. So that can happen. So that's why I like some of the passing stats to go over for the Eagles. Okay. So all right, guys, let me see where I'm at so I can keep my spot. Okay. All right, now let's talk about the Lakers trade real quick, and we're gonna get through this, but this is important, guys. I think both teams, and I said this when I did the reaction video, I think both teams won the trade. Now, short term and long term, that's difference between life. A lot of people don't think like this. Every decision that you make, especially financially, is long term, short term. Short term is, so let's talk about Maslow hierarchy and needs real quick. Each team in the NFL, NBA, in Major League Baseball, and I would say hockey too, all have different Maslow hierarchies or needs. And this is what I would call this. This is a philosophy. I forgot who came up with this. I think his name is Maslow. And basically what he's saying is people are at different points of people are on different levels at different points of the season or different points of the life of your life. Right now, Mavs don't care nothing about having a superstar for 10 years scoring a bunch of points and just making it to the NBA Finals. They don't want to be They don't want a Joel Embiid 76ers team. They want to win championships right now. So they willing to get off a guy that they don't believe is a Kobe Bryant hard worker, that's a lot to put on a guy because Luka's still been playing good, and move on and get an Anthony Davis and have a Kyrie Irving and just try to win there and have a good team. Let's be like the Spurs was back in the day, where we got out a little Tim Duncan and we gonna play team ball. We don't need a superstar. That's where they at right now. The Lakers are at, listen, we need a superstar. We need a young superstar. LeBron James is getting ready to retire. So the trade made sense for both teams. That's where they at right now. Long term, I think it's going to help out the Lakers. Short term, I think it's going to help out the Mavs. So both of them are going to win at different terms. Short term, I don't think it's going to help the Lakers. But long term, the Lakers will win the trade. Short term, the Mavs will win the trade. So this year, the Mavs, to me, will be better than the Lakers. Unless Luka come out there and show that he Kobe. Other than that, then the Mavs is going to have the better team in the next 1, maybe 2 years. But long term, Anthony Davis is eventually going to want to retire. He's getting older, and he's also fragile. I hate to say that. I love Anthony Davis, but he's just been hurt a lot. So it's a fair trade. It's a fair trade. Okay, so let's go do some more comments. C.A. Jefferson, he said, "What's good? Need some prize." Okay, we did that. Okay. RG says Cowboys debating to extend or trade Parsons. Listen, I don't like the way we use him. I want to trade him. I think if you put him at middle linebacker on rundowns, bro, he's stopping all those running backs because he's so fast. Before you get your speed up, he coming through on the backside and bringing you down. But they got him rushing off the edge like he TJ Watt. He can do it because he's such a phenomenal athlete. Troy Polamalu could have a lot of sacks, but you're not going to put him at the defensive end, are you? No, you're not going to do that. So that's why I think we should trade Parsons. We don't use him right. He's just a sack specialist. Why in the hell we got one of the most talented players ever, and all they do is just get sacks? We need to stop the run. We need to turn the ball over with picks and stripping guys. If you got them at the defensive end, you're going to wear them out. When you got guys like All-Pro Trent Williams, they weigh 320 pounds, and they got good feet, man, they're going to cancel him out eventually. He's going to get tired. He's only 240 pounds, 250 pounds. So I don't like the way we use Michael Parsons. Trade him and let somebody else, and they're going to turn him out to be one of the greatest defensive players ever to play the game. Well, he can have 12 or 13 sacks and 130 tackles. Not just, I got 15 sacks with 10 tackles. No, man, I don't want that Michael Parsons. Let me see. Jamie says, Adam Scheffler just said that Aaron Rodgers is most likely not returning to the Jets. Not surprised. Not surprised. Captain Spock said, if Saquon breaks an 80-yarder, the refs will call it back on a non-existent holding call. Hey, bro, I ain't got nothing to say about that. We know what's been going on. We know what's been going on. We got to watch the game. We got to see. Stuff like that has been happening. Let me see. Adam, what's up, Adam? He says, could be a big game for AJ. I agree. He dominates in man coverage, right? And I'm telling you, they're going to stop that run. They're going to have 8 men in the box. You know, they might have two safeties sometimes, but they're going to stop Saquon. They're not going to let Saquon beat him. So I believe AJ Brown's going to have to beat him. Marami says, AJ cooked the Chiefs in the last Super Bowl. Even though they lost, he had a great game. Facts. Ethan says, you think betting on a defensive touchdown to occur would be yes, it's throwaway money. Listen, man, it's like having a portfolio when you invested. And I know, Ethan, you are a young cat, but let me tell you, man, I got different types. I got insurance, I got stocks, I got all kinds. I got volatile stocks, I got I got stocks that I can count on. And if I go and I'm putting $40 every time I get paid into a stock that could blow up tomorrow, like say it's a coin, it's a cheap coin, it's only 2 cents, it's some new coin, say it's TD coin. I don't give a damn about that $40. I'm gonna spend it in the stores on buying cupcakes and shit, and ice cream and shit for my family. So I'm gonna put that $40 there, and if it boom, I got some money. This coin didn't blew up. I'm worth $50,000 now. Or they took all my, I didn't put $200 in there the last year or so. They didn't took all my money. Who cares? That money was going all the way. So I think it's that type of bet. You don't put your last $100 on it, but if you had $20 to play with, hell yeah, that's a great bet. Always, anything that can happen in the game. What's the rule? I forgot the name of the rule. Anything that can happen will happen, right? So if it can happen, you bet on it. If a safety, I'm betting on that. That's plus 5,000. I'm putting $20 on that. If it hit, I hit. If it don't hit, who cares? I didn't lose. I didn't make a mistake. That's the type of bet I was doing. Excuse me, guys. Let me see here. Captain Spock says he's betting on Kansas City because he know the ref will steal the game from Philly. That's possible. That's another reason why I'm betting on them. That is, but also they win close games too. Facts. Jimmy's. He says, why do you think Isaiah has disappeared in this offense? Hunt is getting the majority of the snaps. Okay, guys, let me tell y'all something. Running backs are not valued in the NFL, and I'm not mad at it. All the thing that I would say, the running backs gonna have to fight on the collective bargaining agreement. Excuse me. So I would say, let me calm down a little bit, guys, because I gotta try to get through this live. I would say Isaiah Pacheco is a good part, but guess what? He's not. He had an injury. He's not playing as good as he was earlier. So Hunt, they taking a hot hand. They don't care nothing about nobody on this offense other than Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. So they're gonna give it to the hot hand, no matter who you are. Jerry says, look for Noah Gray to have a good game over the middle, but I think the Eagles will bend but don't break for the most part. Eagles by 8. It's possible. It's possible. I just can't see Kansas City getting beat by 8 at this point in time of their career. Harami says, I have a different thought on this. Maybe the Eagles win on a fairly called game to silence the refs cheating on Kansas City talk. It's a bad look for the NFL. Facts. Yeah, I thought about that myself, but the NFL don't care. They don't care about a bad look because it's entertainment. If you go and look at the rules, and if the FBI could do anything, they can't do anything. Um, they could. It's entertainment, so they can go out and tell the ref to call holding more or don't call this. That's just how it happens. But I like what you're saying. It makes sense. I thought about that. Captain says Saquon just had the second highest season total regular season and playoff yards of a player in history. MVP. Well, the MVP is not for the playoffs. That's another thing. Because guys, we've seen people. If we'd have put the playoffs in there, they would have won that MVP. But they don't. They say they don't put that in there. I agree with you. Saquon had a great playoff run, but in order to win MVP and you're outside like you're not a quarterback, you have to ball out. You got to go and shock the world. You got to have like 2,400 yards or something. They're not gonna give it to a running back with like 2,000 yards where we seen like 7 running backs do that already. Especially when you have quarterbacks that's winning multiple Super Bowls, putting up crazy amounts of yards, doing what Josh Allen doing. So that if you gotta take out playoffs. Playoffs don't count for MVP. That's what they say. RG says Laker trade for Mark Williams was reversed. Facts. I don't know why. They said it was something about he couldn't pass the physical. So he must got a degenerate knee. Harami says NBA bleeding ratings. Right. They need to spark the ratings, and like magic, Luka goes to the LA. And that makes sense. That's the undertone stuff again that we know happens. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna read off my 5 guys that I think is a must-have going into your 2025 season. Guys, make sure you remember this is where I'm my greatest. A lot of you might, and guess what? I don't want to get off topic, but I'm having to realize this as I'm getting older. I seen this video where a guy said he was up on the chalkboard and he was writing 3 times 3 equals 9. And he said he wrote it 10 times. He said, but one time he put 3 times 3 equals 0. He said 5 people raised their hand. And he said that they didn't say nothing about the 3 times 3 equals 9. They said, hey, the ninth one, excuse me. They said the ninth one says 3 times 3 equals 0. And he did it on purpose. He said people always are going to see when you are wrong. And that's fine. That's great. I love that because I like to compare. I like to see how great I am, to be honest. That's why I always want to keep track. I want to see how good I really am because I don't want to sit on here and be talking like I know something and I don't. And that's fine. But I believe in the last 2 or 3 off seasons, I've been like the guys that I've called have been amazing. I'm not saying I shocked myself because I believed in it, but I believed in the process. And these guys, no coach called and said, I'm going to give these guys a lot of targets or these guys are going to break out. But these guys broke out. So I got 5 guys. And I'm giving you that because, guys, I think write these players down. I'm almost like, I'm like 70 to 80% when it comes to guys that I'm talking about in the off season that I'm pushing. That not randomly just talking about, because we all know that Jamar Chase and these guys are going to be great and they can get injuries. That's not really how I look at it. I'm looking about like talking about guys that I might say, let's see. Let's just say if I said that Sam Darnold is going to be great. That type of stuff, that matters when it comes to fantasy. That can change your season around, right? So here's a couple guys that I want to talk to you about. The first guy that I believe that you should be targeting I think he's going to have a tremendous season. It's going to be Brian Thomas Jr. Now, yes, I'm biased. I was on this guy. I said this guy was the best wide receiver. Nobody still haven't said anything about that. What's one thing that's different about YouTube. It doesn't matter how good you are, how much you are right. It's mostly, do you put timestamps in your videos, or what's in your background? Did you edit this video? But Brian Thomas Jr. outplayed, and maybe in the situation when it's better, he outplayed Malik Neighbors. He outplayed Marvin Harrison Jr. And he had Matt Jones that nobody would never want those guys for a quarterback for your team. He played with Matt Jones. He played better with Matt Jones than he did with Trevor. That makes me nervous. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Trevor and Brian Thomas. If Trevor comes out there, you guys, I don't, and I'm being human. I'm biased. I don't really get on to quarterbacks personally. But if he comes out here and he's throwing Brian Thomas the ball 4 times, Trevor is one of the worst quarterbacks ever. Matt Jones can come in half of the season and start hyper-targeting this guy, and this guy can finish as the number 2, number 3 wide receiver for the second half, going into the fourth quadrant. So I love Brian Thomas going into next year, guys. Especially in Dynasty, I would get off of guys, and I hate to say it, if I had Amon-Ra, I would get off a guy like Amon-Ra for Brian Thomas and another piece. That's how you move. You keep funding because guys have their time. Amon-Ra is no longer going to get 15 targets a game. This offense is too superior. They got too many great players around Jared Goff in the offensive line. So you don't want to be relying on Amon-Ra every single week. Now, he's going to have great games, but we talking about like Triple Crown, win championships for fantasy football, crazy targeting. That's not happening for Amon-Ra anymore. So I like guys like Brian Thomas. Not telling you that Amon-Ra, don't draft Amon-Ra and draft Brian Thomas. I'm just telling you the way the tiers shake up sometimes. All right, the next guy, I'm not gonna make a long talk about this next guy, but it's Lamar Jackson. Losing the MVP saved him. If he would have won the MVP, I might not have been on him because he would have been like, I don't care about the regular season. And I'm still thinking that he's kind of going to be on that a little bit. He's going to be focused. So this is something that I'm telling y'all that happens in the player's mind that I talk about that other contents don't talk about. They just go to the numbers. And the numbers are great. But at times, teams are evolutionizing their teams, and they go into different seasons with different mindsets. So now Lamar is kind of like, my regular season don't matter. So Lamar going to jump over the line in the third game of the season? No, he's just going to slide and get out of bounds. So you got to go to these younger guys sometimes. But I still like Lamar because he still has something to prove. So that's what I'm saying. Once he wins the wins the Super Bowl, I might move on from that. I also like Josh Allen. These guys still got something to prove. Pat Mahomes is done with 55 touchdowns a season. But he'll do what it takes to win, right? Because that's what he's trying to get built onto his Super Bowl career, not his MVPs. And then can you do all of them at the same time? Yes. But the most important thing for Pat Mahomes is going to be winning Super Bowls. Lamar and Josh is trying to dominate through MVPs and stuff, but that is calming down. They mostly trying to focus on winning playoff games. But I still think Lamar is going to have that edge, guys. So I would still trust him this year coming up, and I still want him to be the quarterback on my team because he still has things that he needs to prove a little bit. All right, the next guy I want to talk about is going to be a running back. It's going to be Chuba Hubbard. People don't want to trust it. Chuba Hubbard was one of the top 3 running backs in the league. Now, listen, I can go show you some numbers, evade tackles and stuff, but me watching the game, that's why I was on Chuba. I kept telling people, Chuba. Yeah, well, Carolina, Bryce Young suck. I'm like, I don't care. Chuba is a good running back, and this offensive coordinator won't establish the line of scrimmage. I like Chuba. I think Chuba going to be a nasty running back next year as long as he can stay healthy. I'm drafting Chuba, and guess what? He's getting drafted in like the 3rd or 4th round. That's why I don't want to draft. I'm not going to sit here and overdraft Saquon when I can get Chuba. So I would rather make sure if if I can get like a quarterback or another prime position instead of taking Saquon, when I can pick up a Chuba in the 4th round and then another good running back in the 5th, that's what I'm going to do sometimes. Now, if the draft comes to me and Saquon is there and I get him at the right value, yes. I will probably take Saquon #1 overall in some leagues, maybe. Just depends on what type of format is going on here. But I love Chuba Hubbard. All right, I got 2 more guys for you, and I got a bonus guy. The next guy I want to talk about is going to be Drake May. And you know who Drake May reminds me of? You know what I can see in Drake May as he's moving forward is Josh Allen. I come out there in the middle of the season. Nobody thinks that our team is good. I ain't got no weapons, but my athletic ability and me moving around, I can make plays. So the only thing Drake May needs is a weapon. Now, if they don't get a weapon, don't touch Drake May, and you can get him off the waivers if you need to. But if they get a superior wide receiver, don't let Drake May, don't let him slip your mind. Don't draft him too early, but just know that maybe you might want to pick him up off the waivers and have him as your second quarterback in case he has a breakout season. I think this guy, a breakout is coming with this guy. Excuse me. And the reason why I think a breakout season is coming is because of his athletic ability. He can run. He runs like a 4.6. He's 6'6". He has a strong arm. And they trying to get Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is back. And we know what Josh McDaniels is. As an offensive coordinator. He's one of the best to ever do it. Now, he can't run a team, but when it comes to grooming a quarterback, Josh McDaniels is fantastic. So I like Drake May as like a sneaky guy that I'm trying to just get him on my teams if I can. And the next guy, I don't even want to tell y'all because a lot of y'all playing in some of my leagues, and I'm not going to be able to get this guy. But it's going to be Ladd McConkey. With Justin Herbert throwing that ball the way he is, Ladd going to be a monster. Ladd going to be a monster. That white boy underneath is like that. He can jump out the gym. He's very athletic and he's fast. And he got great hands. The only thing that worries me, I don't think he's that tough. I don't want him taking a bunch of hits. I don't want him getting ankle injuries and stuff. But I think Ladd McConkey is like that. So I'm taking him, and this is a guy that I might overdraft. I might take him in the 2nd round because he might not come back to me. So I might take him at the end of the 2nd round. I said what I said. Guys like Ladd McConkey is like, that's the way the Buffalo, like, you may be drafting I'm not drafting no damn T. Higgins over no Ladd McConkey. I'm not drafting them 2nd-tier guys. You got to be the superior Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. After those tier, about 6 of those guys, Brian Thomas, then I'm going to Ladd. And I won't be surprised if Ladd end up being up there with those guys. All right, and my last one, guys, I'm going to talk about, this is bonus, guys. It's going to be Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy. And the reason why he's playing in that Mecole Hardman role with Pat Mahomes, it's only going to grow. That role is only going to grow. Now, Rashid Rice is coming back, but that's only going to help Xavier Worthy. Rashid Rice is not getting no carries at the backfield, but Xavier Worthy can. So, all right. So, guys, let's get through some of these questions. Let's see. Harami says, who is the more dangerous, Steph and Butler or Luka and LeBron? Luka and LeBron. Luka and LeBron. Ethan says, I think there was some shady under the table deal with the Luka deal because the second Cuban leave, they do this, and the GMs that did it were friends. Facts. That's always happening, bro. This is America. It's about money. It's always hidden agendas going on. Thomas says, what up, boss? This just in. The 49ers just granted Debo permission to seek a trade. I told y'all that last year. They're not holding on to Debo. But he might come back for a discount. I think if Debo willing to take a discount, I think they'll keep him. But also Ricky Pearsall. I think this brings Ricky Pearsall value up. I think they want to transfer into, instead of running a lot of those gadget plays, they want to use Ricky Pearsall like a Julia Elderman. I think that's the next evolution for this offense. Harami says XRP. If you know, you know. What it is. What's up, CHB? What's up, bruh? Long time no see. He said, listen, we already know what's going to happen. The NFL wants the Chiefs to win because of the money and the Swifties. Paolo. I'm sorry, man, if I'm killing your name, bruh. He says, all eyes on Kelsey holding all day. All eyes on Kelsey holding all day. Okay. Thomas says, I'm glad Josh Allen won MVP, and it's definitely a regular season award, but I feel like the choice was made when Allen beat Lamar in the playoffs. He killed it. That's why I kept saying quote unquote, right? You right. I agree with you right there, Thomas. Paolo says, but everyone really know what the Luka to the Lakers trade is all about. Right. Micro says you get paid for this, so you will be held to a higher standard. That's life. Right, Micro. Right. And even if you don't get paid for it, if you go out and you claim it and you stand on it, you're going to be held accountable for it. I agree with you, what you're saying, Michael. Thomas says, BTJ going to smash. He smashed with QBs. Trash QBs. Harami says, he was the best rookie wide receiver. Facts. Harami says, T-Law is in a make it or break season. He had his time. LA Real Gamer. What's up, brother? He says, will you eventually do fantasy sports or just football? Thanks, TD. I'm gonna do fantasy sports, but I gotta bring in. I'm trying to bring in a team. I don't do hockey. I don't do soccer. Like I'm talking about, like far as the way I break down the game. But I want to bring all these in. That's why somebody hit me up in the chat the other day. I don't want to address this. He said, man, why you got a soccer ball and a baseball bat and you don't even do those content? Because it's called, I'm trying to create a business and I got to think in game, right? So I can't just put football and then I want to expand and I'm gonna have to change my whole plan for my channel. So that's my plan. Let me see. All right, guys, the phone is going dead, so I'm gonna try to get to a couple more of these. Ethan says, you got any rookies there? No, I haven't got on the rookies yet, bruh. He said Isaiah Bond and Texas Hurl Fanning. Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet, bruh. I gotta give it time for people to fill it out. I used to do that, and I made a bunch of content for no reason. So I kind of let the players kind of get concentrated into a box, and then I start talking about the guys who are coming up, the cream of the crop. Thomas said, what round would you take Lad? Man, probably at the end of the second round. Just depends on where I'm at. It just depends on what's on the board, man. That's why I tell y'all to get the consultation. I can't tell y'all because I draft guys at different times. I drafted Saquon in the second round. I drafted Saquon in the first round last year. It depended on what was on the board. So it depends on what's on the board. But I'm thinking in the second, beginning of the third. Thomas said I was going to say mid-third for me. I get it, but Lad is made of glass. Right. You're right, Jake. Cup announced on Twitter earlier this week that the Rams intend to trade him. Right. They could be willing to eat some of his $7.5 million signing bonus. Harambe says Cup staying in LA just on different team to mentor Lad. Cutting edge. Thomas says laugh out loud. Just kidding. Let me see. What was Thomas talking about? Let me see. And Jake Anderson says Roger Goodell said the league will review the sexual misconduct allegations made against Justin Tucker. Guys, I don't want to get into that, man. That makes me nervous. I don't want to speak on that. But as a man, and my perspective is wrong. I would say that because I'm not a woman. I don't get attacked like that. So I don't want to speak on something that I don't know about. But I just want to make sure this is true. Because this is why I know I believe in God. If you go and put stuff on people and that's not true, that's the type of stuff that I think. That's why I know it's a God, because that's not right. So, but if he did that, it is what it is. So I'm not gonna really speak on it. I don't know what happened. It's rough out here. Bo said, bro, fantasy baseball is pretty legit. Not as bad as it seems. Right. And I love baseball. I know baseball. Not as much as I know football, but I know baseball. But I need people to come and help me talk about the everything. Ethan said, I feel like if you do fantasy basketball content, you should talk about the stars, because I traded my whole team so I could get 3 superstars. They just do so much better than the regular player. Right. It was a burger symbol for 5 guys. Oh, okay, right. Oh man, the 5 guys and all that stuff, that's coming, guys. Y'all see I'm grinding. Notice, Thomas, you ain't said nothing about me being on the live and I'm sick. So all that's coming, brother. Your 5 guys is coming. It ain't going nowhere. I still got it right here. I just got to put it in the envelope with Thomas' name on it. Ain't nothing going on, bro. I still got your 5 guys. Just be patient. Yes, I do. I am sick. Right. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all guys be safe. I know you is, Thomas. I know you is. Juwan Jennings, I don't know, man. I think he just listen. He's a Kyle Shanahan guy. He's a great blocker. He's a great teammate. Yep. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace.